Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is the hands-on series on EC2 instances, and in this practical we are going to see how we can modify the Apache web server's test page of an EC2 instance, and here we will be launching our EC2 instance with the help of the user data, right? So first let us have a glance on what we are going to study through this video. Of course, we will be launching our EC2 instance, but this time we will be using the user data script so that we can launch our instance installed with Apache Web Server. Then, of course, we will be connecting to it and we will be visualizing our user data. And then we will be running the test page. That means we will be testing that whether the installation of Apache web server has been done perfectly or not. And then, of course, we will be seeing how we can customize the web page. Let us first have a quick view on what we understand by a user data. So AWS user data is a set of commands or data that you can provide to an instance at its launch time. We have actually two ways of installing applications on our EC2 instance. The first is the usual manual way. You launch your EC2 instance, you connect to it, and then you run commands, or you install your application as you do on your usual laptops or desktop. But if in case you want to automate this particular process, you can do it with the help of user data. You can provide all those commands into a script. You can pass it to your EC2 instance user data text area, or you can upload the file, and what this will be going to do is to install or run each and every command at the launch time. So at the time when your instance is ready to use, that means it will be in the running state. All the the commands that you have given in the user data will be executed, and all the softwares that you want to install will be installed at the launch time only. So you will be getting an EC2 instance ready to work, right? Make sure that while using your user data, there should not be any errors into your in that script. Otherwise the things will not get installed properly. But yes, you can modify your user data for your instance, but that has two conditions. The instance should be in stopped state. You have to restart the instance after you make your corrections, and that is only possible if you use an EBS volume backed AMI, right? So you have two different types of AMI. First you have EBS volume as your root volume, and you can also have instance store, right? So if you have instance store as your root volume, at that point of time you cannot modify your user data, because when you stop the instance, the data written in the instance store get vanished, right? So make sure that your root volume should be EBS. So now, without wasting any time, let us go to our management console and see how we can do this particular hands-on. So here we are in our AWS management console, and I will be clicking on EC2 instance because I require one EC2 instance, and that will be of Linux 2 this time, right? So I'm clicking on instances, new, launch instance. Right? So in this particular page where we actually select our AMI, if I go to community AMI here, see the root device type is EBS or instance store, right? So we can have these two types of root devices, right? So if I click over this, then whatsoever AMI you are seeing over here are the root device type is instance store. So these are the ones in which you cannot modify your user data. And if you go for the EBS one, at that point of time, you can actually modify your user data. So here I shall be clicking on the Linux 2 AMI, which is of course my free tier eligible, and the root volume type is EBS over here. So that is to be one thing to be noted. Selecting it, sticking to T2 micro only because free tier. And here, all in the previous videos, what we actually did, we skipped this particular portion and left all the details by default. But here, when you scroll down and go to your advanced detail, you will be having this particular space for your user data. So you have actually two ways of doing this. First is as a text. You can type your commands over here, and you can also upload your file if you have a proper file written for it. But here I will be using the simplest one. I shall be just typing some text over here. Now the commands that I will be using this time will be the commands to install HTTPD, that is nothing but Apache web server. And all these commands we have actually used in our previous videos also. Copying it up till here, till this one, and just paste it over here, right? So these are the nothing but the commands that you guys already know. This is sudo su because you want to become the super user so that you can install anything. Then we have the command of updating, that let me just remove the comments because they will not be executed anyway. So yum update -y, it is used to update the system. Yum install, this is the installation command, then starting the server and then enabling the server so that the link can be established. So these are the commands with which we can install our Apache web server, and I have just given all these commands into my user data. For every different task that you want to get performed at the launch time, you can have different commands or different user data, right? Because here I am working on a Linux AMI, that's why I have used bash script over here, right? So these commands are actually understood by your Linux operating system, right? So let us move to add storage, let it be, and I shall be going to my security group, and this time again make sure that for the security group you will be using a security group that allows HTTP also in it, right? So you are going to SSH into your EC2 instance, along with you will be requiring port 80 to be enabled through your security group, because HTTP web server it is, and it works on the the application layer of your OSI model, and that uses the HTTP protocol, right? So you need to allow this port range also, right? So I am just using this my favorite security group, which have SSH, port 80 and port 443 for HTTPS. Now review and launch, everything I think is fine. Start launching the instance, so I will be using my existing key as always. Acknowledge and launch the instance, right? So now the thing is that we are able to now launch our Linux instance with the help of our user data, and as soon as the status gets from pending to running, we will be able to visualize the test page of your web server. So let me show EC2 Apache and save. Quickly refresh it, and yes, now the status is running. So I can actually go to the public IP of my EC2 instance, open up a new tab, type the URL, and here is the test page. That means the user data worked perfectly correct, and we have actually installed the Apache web server on our EC2 instance with the help of user data. Now, the next thing is we are going to modify this test page and customize it for our own HTTP code. Right? So here there is a line that you may now add content to the directory var/www/html. Now, so what we are going to do over here is we are going to add some content of our own to this particular directory, and then we will be modifying this test page so that we can visualize our own content through our web server, right? So let's start with this particular portion of your hands-on, right? So we are going back to our EC2 instance, and now I'm going to SSH into it. So for that I shall be opening up my PowerShell, and here it is. So all right, so first go to the place where my key is there. So CD OneDrive desktop, and the best thing is go to your EC2 instance, click on connect, copy the command for the SSH, right? And here is the command, and now I shall get SSH into my EC2 instance, type yes, and here you go. So right now I am in my EC2 instance. Now After entering to my EC2 instance, what I will be doing, I will be making over here a new directory which I will be naming as my file, right? So you can see that the directory has been now created successfully, right? Now what I want over here is I want certain data to transferred from my local machine, that is my laptop on which I'm working right now, to this EC2 instance. So let me just remind you with one of the previous videos of mine in which we have used the secure copy command to transfer data from my local machine to my EC2 instance. I shall be repeating those particular steps again, right? So open up a new PowerShell, right? And as up till now you have done that much of hands-on on EC2 instance, then you will be perfectly knowing that this is my EC2 instance and this particular PowerShell will belong to my local host, right? So this is OneDrive desktop, because here I have what? I have my key over here, right? So I have just gone to that particular path. Now I will be writing scp -i, the name of my key, that is my Linux key. The file that I want to copy an image. So that will be 123.jpg. That is there on my desktop only. Then, because I'm in Linux machine, so the name of my machine is EC2 user. So just copying the DNS and paste it here, colon, my file. Right, these command you can see the previous video of mine on which I have actually explained how you can transfer any file from your local machine to your EC2 instance, and press enter, and you can see that 123.jpg has been transferred successfully over here. So let me just ls, and you can see now this is the image that is now being transferred to my EC2 instance. One more time I will be using the same command, but this time I shall be just changing the file because I want one HTML file to get transferred over here, that is my page.html, right? And again I've over here, and just I have changed from 123.jpg to my page.html and press enter. And you can see that my page.html file is also now been transferred to my EC2 instance. If I do it again, you will be visualizing two files over here. First is my image file and the second is my page HTML. These files I have already actually saved on my desktop. So this is the image that I wanted to transfer, and this is the my web page. I actually wrote it into Notepad and just saved my code of HTML by .html extension, the content of which we are going to see with the public IP of our EC2 instance, right? What I shall be doing, I shall be visualizing this my HTML page, that is my page.html, my file on my EC2 instance, right? So let us see how we are going to do this, right? So what I'm doing, converting myself into the super user. So now I am the super user, right? So what I shall be doing is I shall be moving these two files, that is 123.jpg and mypage.html, to this particular folder, right? This folder, this directory, right? So I will be transferring both these pages to this particular HTML folder. How I'm going to do? Let us see. The command that we will be using over here will be the move command, that is mv. In Linux, we use this command to transfer files from one folder to another or one directory to another. The file that we want to transfer, that is 123.jpg, right? And then we will have to specify the location to which we want to move this file. So I want this file to go to var www/html. I want this file to go there. So I no error, that means the file is successfully moved to that particular folder. Second is my page HTML. So again I will be using mv my page dot html to var www/html, right? And enter, right? So let me just exit from this super user, and here you can see that if I now go to the URL which is over here page of my Apache web server, and this is the public IP. Now what I will be doing is I will be typing over here my page.html and enter. And you can see that with this particular IP only, I have just copied my content to the HTML folder that is, get installed by the Apache. And this is the thing that was written on my HTML file, right? So it is my first web page, and here I used the EC2 instance with Apache web server. I wrote the HTML file on my local host along with this particular image, copied it through the scp command that I have shown you already, and copied it along with the image. It is displayed with the help of the public IP of your EC2 instance. So practically speaking, why I actually did this particular hands-on is to show you guys that by jotting all these particular hands-on together, we will be one day able to make a very nice and sophisticated application on AWS cloud. I hope you enjoyed this particular session, and for more such hands-on, stay tuned to my channel. Thank you.